All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development Program, and in particular the AWD 1111.NET Framework with Web Databases class, I've been going over a series of video presentations, or creating a series of video presentations based on the book we're going to use for this class for the fall 2019 semester. That book is shown on the screen right now. It is Pro ASP.NET MVC 5, an A-Press text by Adam Freeman. I'm in the middle of Chapter 18 of 27. And I'm on the bottom, well, I guess I'm still on the top half of page 509. Action filters are filters that can be used for any purpose. The built-in class for creating this kind of filter, iActionFilter, is shown so you can see what we've got here. All right. The onExecuting is called before the method runs. The onExecuted calls after the method has already been invoked. So the onExecuting, again, call before. We can use this to inspect the request and elect to cancel it, modify it, or do something else. All right. The parameter to this method is an action executing context object. Again, we can use a filter to cancel the request by setting the result property to an action result. To demonstrate this, the author has created their own action filter class in the infrastructure class. So let's bring this in. And on the top of 510, we will replace the code that's in there with this code. So we're using the onAction executing method to check whether the request has been made from the local machine. If it has, we return a 404 not found response to the user. We apply this action filter as we would anything else. To demonstrate, we're going to add a new action method to the home controller as shown on the top half of page 511 in the text. Right here. So we are going to save this and try to run the program and iterate our way over to home/filter test and see if we get the 404 error in there, not found. And indeed we do. All right. On page 512, you can also use the filter to perform some task that spans the execution of the action method. As a simple example, the author has created yet another class in the infrastructure folder called profileActionAttribute.cs. This will be a class that measures the amount of time that an action method takes. We will be replacing the code that's in here with the code that's shown up here on the top half of page 512. There it is. In this example, we use the onAction executing method to start a timer. The onAction executed method is invoked when the action method is completed. The next listing shows how we applied the attribute to the home controller. All right. We remove the previous filter created so that local requests are not redirected. So let's go back to the filter test in the home controller. So let's do a file, save all here. A lot of stuff open again. It's a little better. All right, so we want our home controller file, and in there there's our filter test. We want to change this to profile action. And we want to start the application. So again, a file, save all. Start the application and iterate our way over to the home/filter test URL and see if we get the same message that's on page 513. Okay, so /home/filter test. Okay, we got a different number than they got, but we got the same thing. The parameter that's passed to the onAction executed method is an action executed context object. This class defines some useful properties that are shown in the text here. The cancel property, as mentioned, will return true if another filter has canceled the request since the time that filter's onAction executing method was invoked. The onAction executed method will still be called, but only to tidy things up. So let's check our time. We're not doing too badly. So let's jump down into using result filters on 513. Result filters are general purpose filters which operate on the results produced by action methods. They implement the iResult interface as shown on the top of the page here. All right. In Chapter 17, the author explained how action methods return action results, allowing separation between the intent of an action method and its execution. To demonstrate a simple result filter, the author is going to create in the infrastructure, that's nice, in the infrastructure folder. Oh, I don't know what happened there. No, jumped ahead. Come on. We want to create a new class called Profile Result Attribute in our infrastructure folder. The code for that class is shown here on the bottom part of page 514. And the author mentions that the result filter is the complement to the action filter. we created in the previous section. It measures the amount of time taken to execute the result. So once we come in and do this, before we do, we've got to go back to our home and not only profile the action, but also profile the result. That's what's shown on the bottom of page 514. All right. And we will again save, execute the program. And once it comes up, we will iterate our way over to home/filter test and see if we get, there we go. Again, our numbers aren't the same as the ones in the book. That's not a big thing. All right. The reason they're different is we're using a different kind of processor, etc. All right. Using the built-in action and result filter class. The MVC framework includes a built-in class that can be derived to create a class that is both an action and a result filter. The class is called action filter attribute, is shown right here. And the author says that the only benefit to using this class on the bottom of the page is you do not need to override and implement the methods that you do not intend to use. Otherwise, there's no advantage to using this. All right. He does give an example where he puts it in, but since he says there's no advantage to using it, I'm just going to stop it right there. And I'm going to stop this part of the lesson, and I'm going to pick it up on using other filter features in just a couple minutes.